Hello and welcome to Reddit on Reddit, the internet's auditory version of Reddit. I'm Nelson Allingham, joined by Michael Campbell.
Present, Nelson.
Mm-hmm. Now what?
Well, you gotta check. You always gotta check.
Campbell, I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's a third person that we wait for every week.
Oh, who's that?
You know who it is.
I don't know.
Samantha Haynes.
Never heard the name before. Never in my life. I don't know what you're talking about. I think you've had an episode. I think you've had a psychotic episode. Campbell.
Nelson, could you just please check if Samantha Haynes is here?
Okay, I have no idea what you're talking about. Samantha Haynes?
Hello.
Oh, after
She's
all
here.
these weeks, she's finally showed up, Nelson.
I'm so glad that she's here.
If you could just keep it down, though. We've got a podcast to record, obviously.
We just want you present in the room.
But that will be the last we hear of Samantha Haynes. Forever.
Forever.
The joke's done.
Campbell, I'm so sorry that I ruined your joke.
It's fine. I probably could have told you before the episode started.
Yeah, it would have been way. That's pretty funny. Because I, too, like you, wanted to end the joke. And so I thought if I just don't acknowledge that we ever did it, that would also end the joke. You just had a slightly different plan.
But we both wanted the same outcome. That's the important
We
thing.
got there. That's really funny.
Oh, Samantha, be careful. You're going to trip her. Oh, and she tripped over and broke her neck.
Oh, my gosh, she's dead. She's literally dead.
Oh, well.
What you going to do?
Probably just never mention it again.
Yeah. Good plan. Camby.
Yeah.
Well, should we get into it?
Okay. Now that we've alienated new listeners enough
Yeah.
with this very obscure joke.
We need to quickly get into what the podcast's about so they don't get confused and whatnot.
Let's do it.
Okay, here's what happened. Earlier this week, actually, you said to me, hey, Nels, should we talk about the Wall Street Bets subreddit and all the shenanigans that's going on with the GameStop stock?
Yeah.
I've never realized that's actually a little bit hard to say. Anyway, GameStop stock. It's actually not that hard.
It's not that hard. You did mess up your intro. To be fair, which is something you've said over 230 times.
Before, anywho, so, and I said to you, hey, I don't really have anything to say about it. I think it's interesting, but that's about it. I would like to say now that it's almost impossible for us to avoid it.
Yeah.
It has been just the number one thing on Reddit. Honestly, I think since I've been using Reddit, I don't think there has been one thing that has come up so regularly over time. Like, there's tons of things that have, got a lot of attention. Donald Trump being, made president. Obviously, that was around for a bit. Like, there's, when certain famous people die, Stephen Hawking, for example, that was on Reddit for quite a while. This just seems to be like in every goddamn subreddit. Now, everything.
I need to make a mental note here. I gotta press it into my brain because we always do the best of Reddit at the end of every year, and you always ask me what the biggest story is, and this is so early in the year.
Yeah.
That I'm just pressing it into my brain. Wall Street bets. Wall Street. Okay.
You get that. Do you know what? I'll help you even further, Cambo.
Yeah. Because
this week, what I did was I went to just, popular. What's popular over Reddit? The top posts of this week. How many do you think? How many of the top posts, like say without a break, right? So how many do you think in a row are about Wall Street bets?
So I'm assuming the first one is, and then you're saying consecutively afterwards?
Consecutively after that, how many in a row?
I feel like anything I say might end up sounding conservative. 9.
Too conservative.
Yeah, damn it.
13 posts
13
in a row.
Wow.
The top 13 this week were all in relation to that. And then there was an Ask Reddit that was irrelevant, and then another post. And I stopped looking from that point onwards. But it's still so significantly high. But before I guess we give our opinions on it, which are probably going to be uneducated and terrible.
No doubt about that.
Yeah. It's standard for this podcast in case you are, in fact, a new listener. But I've got something because, look, even I'm a little bit over this. You know, I've heard it so much this week that I'm like, okay, I'm ready for another, somebody else to die and us to move on.
When this first started, I thought it was a really interesting thing. And I went onto the subreddit Wall Street Bets and I saw a lot of people posting about it. I thought, well, maybe I'll join this for the time being and I'll get updates on it. 2 days later, I'm like, enough of this. Like, it was so constant. So much. I had to leave the subreddit.
Yeah, that's right. But so for you, listener, what I've done, you're probably over it as well. We feel legally obligated, I want to say, technically, to cover this topic.
It was the last thing Samantha Haynes wanted.
But I have no idea who you're talking about. Just but I guess a reward for sticking through this segment, I've also found another post this week, which is just a link to a website. That's a list of over 390 synonyms for the word penis.
Great. So that's the little reward.
That's the reward.
That's the cheese at the end of the
rat maze. At the end of the maze. Yeah. That's where we get in. So hold on tight. We'll get through this and then think of all the funny names of penis. Yeah. We're about to go through them.
You will have to hear two guys try and work out exactly what shorting is.
Yeah. All right, so maybe let's just start off with first thing I was going to do, because I normally credit a Reddit get a post, because there were so many. I was like...
Well, I believe this was started by a guy called, was it Next Fucking Level?
Right.
Is that the guy that started it?
No.
Credit him.
See, that was too long ago. The start of this was too long ago for me to understand. I've just sort of picked a funny one. There's and you know what? Not audio friendly.
But here's the thing.
But I'm going to say it
anyway.
We
sometimes get people binging this show years after we record.
Yeah.
Should we provide some brief context just in case in 2 years' time someone's listening to this and this is just a really vague memory?
We're about to, Cam.
Okay, that's what this post is?
Well, no. But I just need to credit Reddit, okay?
Yeah.
This is by user 84935. Great. And they created a meme post where it was, in Matrix 2, where he's fighting in like the mansion and they're taking like swords off the walls and stuff. It's like, it was that that scene, but then over the top of it, it's like people shooting at him and he's stopping the bullets and he's saying hold over him and everything else is, saying sell and whatnot. Yeah. Anyway, it was slightly entertaining. So that's the post that I'm crediting for all of this.
But really, that's just a door into this.
That is just a very small door that you have to squeeze through for the expanse of this. So, Kemba, I want to start with, like what your thoughts are on the whole schmozzle, if I can call it that.
Yep.
And maybe a bit about what you sort of understand it to be.
Yeah, okay. Well, the situation, as I understand it, is that there was a hedge fund that were shorting stock in GameStop.
Yeah.
The idea of shorting I somewhat understand, which is that like you make a bet against something and you kind of like either borrow stock or you're obligated to buy stock at some point.
So my understanding that is they're borrowing it. It's not theirs. So they kind of borrow it at a higher price and then it goes down and that actually gives them a net gain because then it gets like bought back of them at the lower spot, the lower price, and they get the difference in between.
Yeah. But you want the price to be low.
You want the price to be low. It's the opposite to what logic would dictate.
But there is also an obligation that you do have to buy stock at some point, or
they have to sell it back. Oh, they have to give the stock that they've borrowed back and pay the price that it's worth at that point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, people on Reddit, on Wall Street Bets specifically, discovered that this was happening. Mm-hmm. That's the kind of stuff that caused like the global financial crisis. People doing stuff like this. And they were like, fuck that. It's like, you can't. So they started buying GameStop stock.
Yeah.
Easy to say.
At a very low, so easy. At a very low price. Yeah. Because the idea was that it was dropping.
And spreading the word until so many people started buying in such a frenzy that it went up astronomically, like 1,700%. And now this hedge fund is obligated to pay, I think it was up to $5 billion last time.
Five? I thought it was like 70 billion. I could have sworn that the last figure I saw was 70 billion.
I haven't checked it in a long time. It probably has skyrocketed.
It seems like an insane figure, and maybe that's wrong. But also, I think it could, I'm pretty sure that's the last time I checked, it was something insane.
So essentially, a team of people on Reddit saw something that was happening and were like, let's do the opposite to this, and let's really make them pay for this kind of dodgy thing. That
market manipulation sort of stuff.
And then it became like a name-calling thing where people on Reddit were saying they're doing market manipulation, so we're going to like spank them, make them pay a lot of money. And look, if we make a lot of money in the meantime, here's what I'm going to do. Which I'll get to in a sec.
Yes.
And then people on Wall Street, and then all the things that they kind of have investments in, namely some like news outlets, were accusing Reddit of market manipulation, even though they were kind of doing the same thing.
But both parties are guilty of market manipulation. Is the end game here.
And here's my kind of takeaway on it, which is I have no problem with this hedge fund losing a lot of money.
Yeah.
I think that it's behavior on Wall Street that should be regulated out of existence normally. Yeah. But people are also acting like Wall Street bets are some altruistic like angels. And I have seen a lot of posts of people being like, I donated all these Nintendo Switches to a hospital or something. That's great. But like the main people in Wall Street bets, they're like finance bros.
Yeah.
They're if you think that they're not going to cash out with some money after this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They will become the billionaires they sought to destroy.
So I kind of think they're both wrong.
Well, yeah, and I mean the thing is, right, so I'm on the same opinion, right? And again, I can't stress enough to our listeners. Our education level on this is stemmed from the last week of memes. I got a lot of information out of that Matrix meme.
A lot of memes, and just trying to remember as much as you can about the movie The Big Short.
That is exactly what it was
where they explained Margot Robbie was in the bathtub, and I think she was explaining something about this.
Yeah, but she was in the bathtub, you know what I mean?
I also can't stress to our listeners enough. Hang with this because we've got some funny names for penises coming.
Penises. Guys, think about the penises. I think that's the second time I've said that. Yeah, think about the penises. In my life. Anyway, what was about? Oh, yeah, okay. So, yes, big billionaires losing money for manipulating the, stock market, I could care less about. What I guess I don't understand, and from a like logical sort of, or what I think is a logical outsider perspective without knowing much, is my knowledge is that a lot of this sort of ecosystem around, the financial market in the world revolves around Wall Street.
Yeah.
Right? Like there is if Wall Street's impacted, there's businesses all over the world that are actually impacted for something, crazy, right? So this seems fine in this one instance. But I'm worried that if anything like this continues, like there are going to be some severe repercussions that, again, I don't know, and I'm only assuming, but they will happen. And so I'm like, okay, maybe this is good to, like, as a one-off, to say, hey, let's make sure these people can't do it, get some regulation around this and actually act on it,
Right.
Because at the moment, sure, there's laws that say you can't do this, but I think there's things to say, to cover people like, we didn't really know we were going to show what, I don't know, like, there are obviously no one is ever admitted to market manipulation, it's illegal, but if we can get something around that picks up on this sort of behavior, that's where it should stop. But even then, if this whole system at the moment is built around people doing this, is that going to screw something up? If you make this more legalized than it currently is, or more secure than it currently is, like, will that in itself ruin some sort of financial ecosystem that will ruin the rest of the world. I don't know.
So your response essentially would be, if I understand it, say you found someone that invested in this from Wall Street Bets, and you were like, well, you took the hedge fund for a ride, put your arm on their shoulder, go, that was fun. Careful though.
Yeah. Yeah, whoa, buddy. All right.
We all had fun. We can agree we had fun.
We had a good fun.
Let's be careful though.
Yeah. So also another part of this, and correct me if I'm wrong, Cambo,
okay.
and if you don't know, just correct me anyway.
Sure.
So part of it is making sure to hold the stock, because all these people are bought up, because if they sell too early, then I think the hedge fund can still make their money back.
Yeah.
So the whole thing at the moment is hold your shares. Don't
to the moon.
Don't sell to the moon.
That's
don't
been the cry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I don't get that, but that's fine.
I think it's like ride it to the moon.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. But I have to level with you.
Yeah.
Right. If this is me, I buy it at like $10 a share, and it goes up to whatever the hell it is now. I actually don't even know the price of the shares. I only know the amount of money that the hedge fund lost, but it's lots of money. I'm going to sell, Cam.
Well,
I'm not an altruistic enough person to be like, I'll hold this just to screw over the big guys and prove a point. And I know there's probably even an element of like, well, you can maybe sell to get your money back or even have a little bit extra, but, still try to hold some.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck that. I'm selling everything. This baby's about to hit the bottom at some point, right? Like it has to come back down.
Yeah. I did have the opportunity earlier this week to have made some pretty instant money.
Oh.
Because I was interested in this, and I got a stock app. And I opened up, and it was obviously the trending stock.
Did you get Robinhood that?
Well, no. The thing is, we can't have Robinhood here in Australia. Like
really?
Okay.
Yeah,
it's not here.
I had no idea.
But it was the day that whole situation went about. Robinhood stopped trading it, which again was cries of like, that is an unfair thing to stop trading on an open stock.
That in itself, can we just quickly talk about that while we're on the topic?
Well, I don't.
Okay, you keep going. You keep going.
So it was the day that Robinhood had stopped the trading. So anyway, I opened my app and you could see the price go up and then it had gone down. And for a share, it was $130.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I've seen it at 200 and something.
Well, that's the thing. I was like, 100. That's not as high as I was expecting, and I can see it's dipped. And in the back of my mind, I thought I could actually buy that now, but who knows what's going to happen with this Robinhood thing? Blech, who cares?
Yeah.
And I opened it the very next day, and it was $400.
Oh my god!
I was like, oh,
you could have made so much money.
In 24 hours, I would have made money.
Yeah. God damn, it's so nuts.
I would have cashed out then and there.
Yeah, exactly. All of it, because who cares? Money, Cambo. Think of the money.
But you wanted to talk about Robinhood.
Okay, Robinhood to this thing. So, again, summing it up quickly for those that don't know, Robinhood is a stock trading app.
Or was, depending on when you're listening to this in the future.
Yeah.
To the moon, Nelson. That's all I'm saying.
To the moon. And for some reason, So I want to say originally their app was all about, this app is for everybody to trade, no matter who you are. Stock should be open.
It kind of like gamified stocks.
Yes, that's
essentially.
Right. And then they decided recently to stop the trading of, actually stop buying. I think you could still sell.
You could sell
your GameStop shares, but you couldn't buy any GameStop shares. And to me, this was such an insane move for them to do. Like, it pointed out, I think, a couple of things. Is like, one, they are obviously they have some billionaires under their belt. I would have thought that an app like that really is just for, like, they're getting, some money. Actually, I think there's a thing like they don't take commission or something like that, which is why that app is more favorable. But obviously, they must use the data from that app to, like, make money and probably manipulate the stocks themselves. And so I think they saw this as like, oh, well, we're allowing people to manipulate our data. That's ruining our algorithm. So we need to stop that right now. To me, this seems super illegal. I think there is a class action lawsuit at the moment about it. I don't know if, like, technically it is. It just seems illegal to be like, you can, it seems the most manipulative thing. Maybe that's dumb to say, but in this whole thing, I see that as being like, oh, you personally are trying to change this, and that is absolutely market manipulation in a way, so they should be fined for that or whatever. But I can't imagine anyone ever going back to that app, which I find amazing.
Yeah.
Because they would obviously know that going into it, that by making this call and saying, hey, nobody can sell this stock on our app,
the thing
that
is,
you're going to make an enemy of every single person that's using it.
I fully expect it wasn't necessarily them, but whatever firm kind of holds them up, making the call, being like, you freeze this stock. And they're like, it'll ruin us. They're like, we don't care. You freeze the stock right now. Yeah,
like there must be some sort of, monetary value that they would lose by not doing that. But to me, I like to think that it actually wasn't a calculated move. And they maybe saw that, there's maybe this gap that we can get through that people will understand why we're doing this. But it completely failed. And that's the way I like to think of it. But
to say nothing of the irony of an app called Robinhood, who is stopping people who were actually trying to rob from the rich to give to the poor.
Yeah, that's right.
Nelson, I'm wondering though, what would I call a dick?
Well, let me get to that, Camper. Now, this said, first, I need to credit the Reddit because somebody put this on the subreddit. Internet is beautiful. The user was BHAGGITH, Baggith. And they said a list of over 390 synonyms for the word penis. Yep. And they put a link. When I got onto there, 531. And we're going to go through every single one.
Well, here's the thing. Are they numbered?
No, they're not numbered.
Well, there goes the idea I had, which is that we could call out random numbers and see what that designation was.
Like a roll the dice.
Because obviously the first one you check is 69.
Yeah, you do.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. What is the 69th synonym of the word penis?
Yeah, and then 420.
Here's the thing. I found this quite fun because I read through a few obviously before just to test the integrity of this list. And so I think it'd be funny if I just kind of quickly read through them. And then if you want to pull me up on one.
Okay.
Then we can just have a talk about...
Pull you up in the penis.
Pull me up in the penis. Pull me off, if you will. Okay. Here we go. Mm-hmm. Synonyms for penis. Dick, classic.
Yeah.
Cock, phallus, member. I actually really like the word member for a penis.
Because it sounds exclusive.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Want to take a look at my member? That's way better than want to take a look at my dick.
Yeah. Or my cock, or my phallus.
Or my manhood, the next one. Oh. Actually, you want to take a look at my manhood? That's a bit more of a threatening thing. Hey, you want to take a look at my manhood? Do you reckon? Well, if you're in a fight, you're trying to intimidate somebody. Hey, you want to take a look at my manhood?
I don't know if it is. I really tried to go with you there. But I'm going to pull you off on that penis.
I'm gonna try this. If I ever get into a fight, I'm gonna ask somebody if they want to have a look at my manhood.
I think if someone aggressively said, "Do you want to have a look at my dick?" I would be more scared than if they said manhood, because manhood sounds like you're being polite.
Yeah. Well, I see it also as my strength, like I could beat you up.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it implies penis. So I think it's like a double whammy by saying manhood is what I'm saying.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Schlong, dong, Johnson, Willie, shaft, heat-seeking moisture missile.
By the way, I want to know where Johnson came from, because Johnson traditionally a last name.
Yeah.
And surely the last name came first. Yeah. And then at some point, in the colloquial language, someone's like, "Oh, look at that guy's Johnson over there." And some guy called Johnson's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah. Well, I imagine maybe there was a famous guy, somebody Johnson. He had a huge schlong, if you will.
Or dong.
Or dong. Or Willie. And then they were like, that's...
Yeah, well, look at that, Johnson.
Look at that, Johnson.
It's such a compliment.
Yeah. That's right. That's what I think.
Yeah.
If you have the last name Johnson, I think you could really play that up. Because you could say, hey, a synonym for the word penis. That's what you'd say to ladies. They get real technical on them. Hey, synonym for the word penis is Johnson. My last name is Johnson. They might go, ooh, hello. That's really small. This one's weird. Heat-seeking moisture missile. I've never heard that before in my life.
I've never heard it, but I do understand. Like, it makes sense at least. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I'm expecting there's going to be somewhere I'm like, well, that's generous.
Yeah. That's right. I like this one. I've never heard of it before. Sexcalibur. That's a good one.
Sexcalibur. That's quite good.
Wiener. Fuckstick, wee, beaver basher, boner, tool, cum gun, prick.
Sorry. Yeah.
Joystick, pecker, pocket rocket, knob, one-eyed wonder weasel.
See, you listen to all the stock talk and you get this.
Pork sword, rod, chopper, dork, giggle stick, John Thomas. John Thomas? That's so weird. Specific.
But I had heard that before.
Yeah.
It's like a very English thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it's funny that I was talking about the idea of names in Johnson.
Yeah.
Knowing that I knew John Thomas.
Yeah.
I didn't know him, but I presumably had a big dick.
Yeah. I can imagine the conversation one day. It was like, oh, hey, have a look at that Johnson. He said, oh, he's no John Thomas. Then John Thomas just pulled his pants down. They're like,
put his cum gun out.
He put his cum gun out. I'm going to keep going because he's great. Peter. Oh, just Peter.
Fair enough.
That's seems like a weird one. Peter. Okay. That's some guy, Peter, who has a much smaller penis. And he was trying to get in on the John Thomas and Johnson conversation.
I think it's someone that tried to make a joke land and it didn't. Where he's like, Peter, more like penis.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Is Peter?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, yeah, fine.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I guess we'll add that to the synonym list.
Pull up the website.
Sausage, skin flute, thing, todger. That seems more Australian, right?
Todger. Yeah.
Todger.
I picture that more Cockney.
Oh, todger. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that your Cockney accent?
No, I realized that it was a little bit too Australian. So Todger. Anyway, trouser snake. Wang, weenie, ding dong, ding-a-ling, disco stick, junk, lingam, love muscle, love stick, middle leg, one-eyed monster, one-eyed trouser snake, one-eyed... oh, we already had that. That's listed... Oh, no, there was trouser snake and then one-eyed trouser snake.
Is this going alphabetically?
No.
Okay, so there was just a couple of L's and then it went straight to O's and I was thinking they'd skipped meat and two veg, which I've been very much looking forward to hearing.
Yeah. I have no idea...
But I think it was just coincidence.
You
know how like when things are shuffled, there are patterns that emerge? It's one of those things.
This has no logical order to it.
Good.
I've tried.
I wouldn't want it to.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want it to.
A random list of videos. It should randomize each time you refresh the list. Is what I think.
And it just should be called a random list of random dick names.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more page. That was only page one. This is page 2.
How many pages are there?
I don't know, 1,000. Okay. I don't know.
But we'll do one more page and then everyone's got their listened worth.
Yeah. Okay, peen, pisser, plonker, prong, stiffy, third leg, tube steak. Tube steak? Okay.
That's just a different word for a sausage.
Yeah. Oh, some of them have like tags on the side. That one says slang American.
Oh. Which one was that? Tube?
But actually these indications on the side are not very good.
Right.
Because one says like slang cock. Anyway, let's ignore
Cockney?
that. No, it just says cock. It's like, slang for cock. But yes, also slang for penis, which is the whole point of this list. Anyway, okay. Weapon, wang, just spelt differently. W-H-A-N-G. Yeah.
Got a bit of oomph to it.
Yeah.
Whang.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay. Winkle, cucumber, dinky, dipstick, donger, dude piston, equipment, fire hose, flesh flute.
See, they are vaguely alphabetical.
Yeah, but then the order. Yeah. But then it's not anymore.
Yeah,
so I don't know. Yeah. Fuck rod, fun stick.
Fuck rod. You can't just breeze over fuck rod.
Fuck rod. It's very just accurate. That's what that is. That's a very. I like to think that's more of a technical term than anything else. Fun stick, genitalia, helmet head, horn. Oh my god, this is the best one. Krull the Warrior King. Kroll the Warrior King. Okay. Lap Rocket, Leaky Hose, Leaky Hose, Love Rod, Master Sword, Meat and Two Veg. Yeah, there you go. Meat Popsicle, Meat Sword, Meat Thermometer, and Mickey. Oh, the P keeps going. Okay, a few more. Nether Rod, PP, Pink Torpedo, Pintle, Piss Weasel, Piston, Putz, Ramrod, Rig, Sweet Spot, Tallywhacker, Anaconda, Baby Maker, Bald-Headed Yogurt Slinger. Bed Snake, Beef Whistle, Bobby Dangler.
Which is crazy because like that's so many and there are still more. I'm like, oh, it's funny that one didn't come up.
Yeah.
Like I remember I've heard Purple-Headed Trouser Snake before.
Yeah, which is a combination of just like a couple of things.
It's like a mix and match.
Yeah. Oh man, so funny. I actually think I like Whang.
Whang. That's what you shall refer to it from now on.
My Whang. So funny. Okay. But also, Kroll the Warrior King is my next best, I think. All right, let's move into Ask Reddit. Ask Reddit. This Ask Reddit is by Aussie Muser. Introverts of Reddit. Imagine it's a reverse pandemic, and to not get sick and die, you had to spend all of your time outside with other people and in crowds. How would you cope? Do you survive? Now, this says introverts of Reddit, but honestly, just us, which I wouldn't say we're introverts as such, but hey, we like a bit of indoor time.
Introverts rarely scream on the internet every week.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. We would be a rare breed of introvert. Yeah. It's just once a week, very extrovert.
Yeah, once a week they do want a fair bit of attention.
Yeah. But yeah, even for us, which I would just say we're like average in between intro
we're
and
homebodies.
Extrovert. Yeah. What are your thoughts on this?
First of all, I think I don't say this enough. Great question.
Great question.
It's a great Ask Reddit.
Great. Every now and again, you get a great one. But most of the time.
But now that I've stalled long enough for an answer.
Okay.
It's one of those things where I think instinctively I'm like, I'd be good at this until I think about it for even a second.
Yes. Yeah.
Because even just going out at night, the very, very latest I can go out, I've discovered, is I have this internal clock. And something happens to me that I call cracking the 1 o'clock shits.
Okay, yeah.
So if I'm out somewhere at a night, there'll be a point where I'm like, fuck this, I want to go home.
Yeah.
And I look at this, and it's always 1 o'clock.
Yeah,
like there's something about my body being like, it's too late.
Yeah.
What do you do? It's the day. It's the next day.
Yeah.
You were meant to have slept before the next day.
Yeah. I like the idea that your body would think that at 12:01, but it's still just it's like, I trust this guy though. He knows what he's doing. And then it's like, no, wait, we're definitely past midnight. We're an hour into the next day. Okay, sorry, yes.
So yeah, part of me thinks that I would be fine like throughout the day, but at night is where it would really get me.
Yeah, night would be rough. Yeah, true. I didn't even think about that actually. That concept of like, okay, it's so extreme that you have to like have sleepovers or something, be in a room full of
and that's the thing. It's like the day and night make the difference. Mm-hmm. Spend the day in a park, lovely. Spend the night in a park, no thank you.
No, thank you. See, I reckon I would struggle with this way more than being locked down as we have, because I think it is that thing, like everybody, if you're surrounded by people, right? I feel like there's an element of, I'm going to be a polite person for the entirety that I'm with these people, Maybe I'm maybe you crack the 1 o'clock shits. Yeah. But you're not going to really be an asshole to the people around you. You're just like, okay, this is my cue to leave. Yeah. Maybe internally, maybe you'll, get short with Stacy when she tries to pull you onto the dance floor. You're like, oh, it's 1 o'clock.
My body's doing that thing it does.
Yeah. But otherwise, you still try to be amicable with the people around you. I think like just being around people in such a constant state, I would end up just that politeness would go away completely, and I'd just be an asshole to everybody. I'm like, I've been around you all for far too long.
I need to let my inner self out.
Yeah.
And my inner self is not polite.
Exactly. And the worst part is, right, like how extroverts have been struggling with the lockdown, I think they would be the fucking worst people to be with all the time, you know, because they're so bubbly and like, oh, I'm loving being around people all the time. And I would be like, just shut up. I don't want to hear from you anymore. I know this is your idea of heaven, but I'm in hell right now.
I guess our ideal situation is group of people sit around dead silent.
Yeah.
Everyone go on your phone.
Yeah.
That's all we all want to do.
Exactly.
We're all addicted. We know that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, maybe there would be an element for me that would be great because I could be with all my gamer friends.
Right.
Just play games all the time.
Yeah, maybe the ideal situation would be like a gold class cinema because they've got the big comfy chairs that recline, so you can have a sleep if you want, but just have it full of people.
Yeah.
Put some stuff on. You can watch stuff if you want. Go on your phone for a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I need. But it did say outdoors specifically.
Oh, yeah, it did say outside.
Which what I've done is I've immediately gone back indoors.
Yeah, I also thought about going back indoors.
Yeah.
How about drive-in theater? Or, like rooftop theater.
Yeah. As long as I can sleep.
Yeah.
I want to sleep and go on my phone.
Yeah.
They're the things I do anyway.
Okay. Is there a loophole that we're not thinking about here?
Those glass domes. You know, the little glass igloo domes?
Oh, okay. So we can be outdoors, but not really around people, but sort of around people at the same time.
Because I feel like a glass igloo dome is technically indoors, but it doesn't feel indoors, does it?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel that way, and that would be fine.
Yeah. Cram it with people.
Yeah.
Everyone on their phones.
How about if it was so realistically outside, aka the Truman Show?
Big dome.
He's in a big dome.
Yeah.
But he's kind of outside at the same time.
Yeah.
So
there's a sun.
Yeah.
It's not a real sun.
Yeah.
But there is a sun.
Extreme light, but I think that would be fine. I've been thinking about, okay, this is kind of a weird off-topic thing. How would you think about... What do you think about this idea? I mean, think about streaming again on Twitch.
Yeah.
I had this crazy idea where instead of streaming just normal stuff games, I set up multiple cameras in my house and I just have it on 24/7. And the only room I don't is bathroom.
Yeah.
And I don't really do anything. I just live my life in pseudo lockdown. Mm-hmm. Do you reckon people would watch
Surely
that?
there are people doing that.
I don't think of to this extreme of in every
the switching cameras and stuff.
Yeah, right. In every room with switching cameras. Yeah. I don't think so.
Because I know there's people that stream themselves sleeping and whatnot.
Yeah, right. Yeah. But
you're saying you'd be more interesting than a sleeping man.
Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes I'd be sleeping. In which case I would be on par with. Except for my night terrors. I just start screaming occasionally. That might be entertaining. But I just thought if anybody would do that. And then I kind of want to do it as an experiment on myself to be like, how would I go living if knowing somebody is always watching me 100%?
Would you try and be more interesting?
Yeah, but then I'm more interested in the days where, kind of like this thing, where I get short and I'm like, man, I don't want to do this anymore. But then force myself to do it and just see how I react. I'm using myself as an experiment to see if I could just deal with it, feel like I can't maybe be myself to some degree. Anyway, that's what I mean, think about.
Well, look, if it helps the podcast in any way, Nelson, I support it.
Yeah, okay. It can be sponsored.
And if it doesn't, I'm indifferent.
Yeah, okay, all right. What if it hinders the podcast?
I support it.
Okay.
I just don't want it to be indifferent.
Yeah. Just nowhere in between.
Yeah.
Okay. That's fair enough. I think, should we move on?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Let's get into it. Today I advise.
So now it's time for Today I Learned. What are these tunes about?
Today I learned.
And also sometimes advice.
Boomstick, Bratwurst, Candle, Captain, Chode, Cranyax, Diddley, Ding Dong, Dingus. Just thought I'd give you a few extra. Just a bit of fun halfway through there.
That's a fun bonus.
Yeah, it's a fun bonus.
Is bonus one?
Yeah.
Is bonus a word for penis?
It's got to be right, I feel like.
Yeah.
Check out my bonus.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. Plus, it also has the word bone in it, which is very funny.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, this is some advice. It was in the subreddit relationship advice. Yep. And it was by Chris Coover. I told my crush/friend my feelings for her, and she's excited to date me when I move back home this March. How do I keep her interested while being 2,200 miles away for now without being clingy or annoying?
Okay. Interesting question.
I feel like a lot of people have this problem, not just for, he's got a date that he comes back, which is fantastic. But, some people try long distance relationships just in general.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to, make sure they're interested.
The idea of just keeping someone interested is an interesting one because, I mean, there are many different opinions on, like, some people would say, oh, well, being aloof now will make you seem interesting or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know if that, if you see them all the time and you're being aloof, sure, maybe that's a thing. But yes, so far away, if you disappear, you're probably just gone from the mind.
Yeah, that's right. I can I just say, just in normal circumstance, I have absolutely zero idea on how much to communicate with a potential match.
Nelson,
like no idea.
I've worked it out.
Okay.
Oh my God. It's so easy.
It's really easy. Okay.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
Did they say where they're living? They just said the distance. All right. Wherever you are, move to Hollywood.
Oh.
Befriend famous celebrities.
Okay. Yeah.
And then you're getting papped out with famous celebrities. They're seeing you in magazines.
Yeah.
And you didn't try and communicate with them, but you're on the mind all the time. You're showing up in all their news feeds.
You're just there. Find out
there.
like their most, like the most famous person that they like.
Yeah.
I don't know why it took me so long to work out that sentence.
Say they're like, I love Will Smith. Then you get in with the Smith family.
Yeah.
You're hanging out at their house. You're on their Instagram maybe.
Yeah. Start dating Jaden. Why not?
Start dating Jaden. Why not? You've got time. You've got until March.
Yeah.
Let Jaden know.
Yeah.
In March, I'm going to blow this up.
Yeah. Just so you know, this is really...
And after March, you'll never see me again.
Yeah. Like, look, I'm just trying to keep somebody interested. And he goes, that's fine, so am I.
Yeah. I completely understand.
Yeah. I'm sure Jaden Smith has that problem.
Yeah.
How old is that kid these days? Is he like 18 yet or something?
Yeah,
okay.
probably.
Just
If
random
only there was some way we could find out.
There's literally no way we can find out. Yeah. But that's a good idea. Just how about things that also keep on the mind, but also you're unable to contact them, So because they might be like, in just a normal scenario, oh, why isn't he messaging me or something? But let's say you've done something altruistic. You've tied yourself to the biggest tree that is being deforested.
Yep.
And you obviously can't, communicate with anybody from that position. She or he sees you on the news, like, oh my God, this is why he hasn't been contacting me. He's been tied to a tree for 3 days. I mean, you have to pull a lot of these stunts for a period for the next 3 months.
The thing is,
2 months.
You've unlocked a few things now, I think. Okay. Getting on the news is an interesting one. And I have a different take on it.
Yeah, okay. Murder.
Drive to where they are. Okay. Don't tell them.
Okay.
Commit a spree of crimes.
Right.
Enough that your poster starts going around the town saying, do you have information on this man?
Okay.
And then they're at the service station that you robbed. Picture of you on the wall.
Yeah. And what you should do occasionally is smile up the camera with some finger guns and and a bit of a wink. Yeah. So that it's not just like you with the gun holding up the clerk. It's just a bit more of a like friendly, oh, look at this guy.
Alternatively, this doesn't have anything to do with the news. Go online, find a doppelganger. Pay them to hang around where they live. So every time they see that person, they're like, that reminds me of Nelson.
Yeah. Not actually him.
But thinking.
But so close. Okay. That's the best one so far, game. Just find a doppelganger of yourself and then pay them. Hopefully they've got nothing else going on in their life.
We should have. Every one of these takes a lot of money. We should mention that.
Yeah.
You're not friends with Will Smith if you're broke.
Yeah, exactly. We're assuming you are somewhat of a millionaire.
You're at parties that he goes to, we're assuming.
You sold all your GameStop stock. Oh my God, I said I couldn't get it again. Okay. How about the old adage, treat 'em mean, keep 'em keen? Is this something there? Every now and again, just a little insult. Just text. Hey.
So every now and then he goes, she picks up the phone. Bitch. What?
Yeah, that might work.
And then
I've heard it does.
Maybe she'll be like, I need to call him and find out what this means.
Yeah.
Then you go, I'm sorry, that wasn't meant for you.
Sorry.
But then she's calling you.
Yeah.
You don't seem like the clingy one.
You're not the clingy one. Yeah. How do you pass it off? Oh, yeah. You're just saying somebody else? Or like, sorry.
That was for a friend of mine. We were messing around.
Sorry, butt text.
Yeah.
I accidentally butt text you, bitch.
Yeah. Autocorrected to bitch. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Just blame autocorrect.
Yeah.
Just like a regular message. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah.
Thinking of you. Thinking of you, bitch. So talk to you tomorrow. You know?
Yeah.
And then she rings up. You went, I meant to say baby. Something. Nah, that's a bit weird though, isn't it? If you
Bud.
I meant to say bud, which is also in itself kind of insulting. Oh, you just think we're
But that's
buds.
just a fun neg, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's introduce the idea of negging as well. Why are you there?
Yeah. Negging. That's a weird and horrible concept.
It's the worst.
Yeah. It takes the like school playground concept
pulling of the hair with the girl you like.
And takes it into adulthood.
It takes it into more of a mental health realm.
Yeah. So bad. Anyway, the doppelganger thing, I think, was just probably the best.
Done. Tick.
Done. Do that. What's time now?
Okay. About 45 in.
Let's do this other one, I guess. Yeah. I don't make the rules. This is Today I Learned. It was by Adam Chain. Today I learned the Beatles were all still in their 20s when they broke up. George Harrison was 26, Paul McCartney was 27, John Lennon was 28, and Ringo Starr was 29. Not one of them are the same age. I find that mildly interesting.
Doesn't make you feel great though, does it?
It's exactly why I chose this post. I was like, oh my God, can't believe
There's two men that have recently turned 30 in their life.
Yeah, we're past the point of being able to become at least equal with Ringo Starr being 29.
Yeah, I think I've mentioned this before on the podcast, but my barometer of how unsuccessful I am is I'm very, very close in age to Jennifer Lawrence. I think there's like roughly 2 months between us.
Okay.
She's a bit older, to be fair. She had an advantage.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
You've got an extra 2 months
to win that Academy Award.
Almost permanently.
Yeah.
To supersede her. Like, you can be behind for almost all your life, Cambo. But so long as before your death you pass her in wealth and fame, then you can say you did better than her in your life. So that's fine. Actually, we even just spoke about Jaden Smith, who is, we don't even know, but roughly 17, 18.
I feel like he did start with an unfair advantage, though. Whereas the Beatles were from, like, working class families.
Yeah, that's true.
Jennifer Lawrence just didn't seem to be from, like, a prominent family or whatever. You know?
Yeah. Who do we have?
But Jaden Smith, he's the son of the enemy of the state, Nelson.
Yes, that's what I know him for. Yeah, that's true. Why couldn't I be born into a rich, famous
then it's easy.
family? Oh, I guess so easy. Is Jaden Smith actually doing... I know we've talked a lot about Jaden Smith in this podcast, but is he doing stuff? Is he acting? Is he doing music?
Here's the thing. He has. I know that for sure.
Yeah.
He's definitely done them
He's
before.
done both those things.
Yeah. But is he?
Because I feel like... If you're born into it, but then you actively pursue it and you do well enough yourself, I will absolve you of, I don't know, being a spoiled brat asshole, right? which I don't actually think that of Jaden. I don't know his character at all.
Yeah.
But I feel like, yeah, if you can make it yourself, even though you've got obviously some wild advantages.
Well, here's the thing. The fact that we don't know what he's doing now, I would posit means that I have the feeling he's leaned more into music.
Yeah.
But that's me positing that.
And also,
and the fact that we're not like, oh yeah, I'm aware he's generally got music playing on radio or whatever.
Yeah.
Means that he hasn't become successful on his own.
Yes.
Which did, like, I think a lot of the resentment initially to the Smith kids, Jaden and Willow, and there's probably another one. Who knows?
Really? I literally only know Jaden.
Willow,
I would have thought that he was his only child.
Willow had the song, flip my hair back and forth.
Really?
That was Willow Smith.
Oh my God, I had no idea.
Just the worst.
Yeah, okay.
But
is it? I don't remember.
The resentment was kind of like, these are very subpar things they're putting out. I think maybe this career has been more purchased than earned.
Yeah.
Which I understand. And the fact that now seems to like not be much of a like the needle on the pop culture relevance doesn't seem to be moving. It makes me think that maybe there is some truth to that.
Do you think they are under more scrutiny though?
Maybe.
For the same kind of reason.
Yeah.
Like, oh, well, you Will Smith's, offspring. You should, like, I'm going to look at your music with a, fine-tooth comb to see whether I think it, reaches the standards of, like, maybe any sort of early artist or something that's coming into whatever they're creating. Maybe it's a bit harder. It's under more scrutiny.
Do you think... Do you have more or less respect for a celebrity where you definitely know who their parents are and they don't try and hide it, or one that is surprisingly this child of a celebrity?
Right, yeah.
Like, so the example is everyone knows Jaden Smith is Will Smith's son.
Yeah.
And they're always at red carpets together. They're doing promo together all the time. It's like they're tied to one another.
Yeah.
Whereas, let's take, for example...
David Campbell, right? Is the son
Jimmy Barnes
of Jimmy
Barnes. I was going to go something more recognizable.
yeah.
Which is...
If you're an Australian, you might know those people.
Yeah.
And even then, you might know Jimmy Barnes, but probably not David Campbell. So...
Or if you're under a certain age, you won't know either of them.
It'll be either of them. Never mind.
But let's take, for example, Jack Quaid, who plays Huey on The Boys. He's like the main character of The Boys.
Right, yep.
He is the son of Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid.
Right.
Both, like... very famous 90s actors. But I didn't know that for a long time. And it's not ultra apparent. And I liked him before I knew that.
Yeah.
So I think there's more
and then
credibility.
You hated him when you found it out.
Yeah. Meg Ryan, get out of here. So I found that I respected him more being like, I had no idea and you didn't play into it much. And I liked you independently.
Yeah, that's true. And again, like, I imagine why a lot of people do this. I know I used that bad example before of David Campbell, but I do remember like an interview he did, and he was like, I wanted to try and make it without using my dad's name, basically. Not saying, again, he would have had a ton of advantages to get there.
Wow.
But still, like, I think there is this, like, a fair enough reason to try and distance yourself from your
There's
parents.
a great A/B test for this. You take Martin Sheen, the actor.
Yes.
Right? Sheen, not his real last name.
Yep.
His last name is Estevez.
Yes, that's right.
His son, Charlie Sheen, also took his dad's name. Emilio Estevez didn't.
Yeah.
One of them's more famous.
Yes. Yeah.
One of them's a better actor, and he's the less famous one.
Well, yes, that is true. But really, I think that the statistics are skewed because you would say, how many times do people say Charlie Sheen in the world? But there's two people, If you're doing just a data, somebody's mentioned it once on the internet, let's give that mark a 1. It could be for two people. Really, that's unfair.
So you just got the Sheen bit.
Yeah.
Right.
So think about that.
Yeah, but one of them became the highest paid sitcom actor of all time. Was that Emilio? Or?
Yeah. He's still got time, Camber. He's probably a few months, years younger.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully he's the younger one. So if he dies more famous and rich than Charlie Sheen, then he won.
Yeah.
Me and Emilio, we get it.
Yeah. All right, let's get into show thoughts.
Shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, 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 shower thoughts, thoughts, thoughts.
This shower thought is by... Okay, now it could be Dr. Ev, or it could be Drew, but the V's are trying to be W's. Or it could just be DR3VVV. Once we adequately colonize Mars, it would make a good place for nursing homes, since gravity there is lower and people with weaker muscles could move around more easily than here on Earth.
Yeah, it's really inhospitable. Yeah.
Yeah. Get rid of the old. Yeah. They've served their purpose.
Yeah.
This is what I thought instantly. I was like, don't ruin Mars. So could you imagine if that just be like, because it's probably true, but then Mars is just going to have this air about it. Like, I think in America, Florida is considered, like the old people state.
The retirement,
Yeah, and so it's like,
to a certain degree, Queensland here in Victoria is a little bit that way.
Yeah, a little bit that way, yeah. It's like, I don't want to sully in my head of what Mars could be, the exciting new planet Mars, with just like, a bunch of old people.
Just a bit of Mars. Don't take the whole thing.
Yeah. And we'll just sort of like put you on an island. So, I mean, I know there's no water at the moment, but there will be, Cambo, once we
colonize.
Once we get the water,
and stop it freezing.
And
that's the problem, right? It's cold.
What? No, and on Mars,
yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really cold.
Really cold?
It's further from the sun. It's cold.
How cold are we saying?
I don't know off the top of my head, but it's cold. It's a very cold planet. I don't know if every planet further from the sun colder, every planet
I know.
the sun hotter.
But are we saying like inhospitable cold?
Yeah, so but it probably will always be.
They said that I thought the idea was like you could colonize Mars, and it wouldn't be like freaking Antarctica.
I don't think
it's
ever going to be like Florida though, where it's like hot tropical stuff. I think maybe here's the thing: neither of us know. Neither of us know anything. But I would have assumed it would always going to be quite a cold place. It's just livable. Like you could live there. And when one planet is destroyed, I'll take a cold place.
Well, because presumably, I mean, aren't all the planets slowly going towards the sun, like in a very slow manner? So eventually,
warm. Eventually, lovely.
Yeah.
And then eventually too hot.
Whoa, way too hot.
Bit too hot.
Go to Neptune after that. I don't know. I don't know about planets. Just in case you didn't know it from the first segment we did, we're not an educational podcast in any sense. I didn't even know. I'm assuming then, so we're obviously the third planet from the sun.
Yep.
Third rock from the sun. Yes. Accurate.
Yep.
I'm assuming Mars is the fourth.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Just wondering if there was like something in between that was inhospitable. I suppose if you went even further, that would be way too cold. Mars is maybe just enough.
Yeah. And even then, it's like you could technically survive on Mars now, but it's like, I mean, I know this isn't a documentary, but like The Martian, for example, where it's like he had a habitat set up that he could live in. You could do that at the moment.
Well, I think that's the idea.
Is about like,
I mean, there's no atmosphere, so that's how we would have to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just never thought about Mars being cold.
Because it looks red, and that seems hot.
Yeah.
You associate deserts and stuff.
Yeah. That's deceiving of Mars.
Apparently not even that red. More kind of a grayish brown.
Yeah.
And like there was something. It's like when the photos first came back, there was like a tint on the lens or something, and it came out quite red. But then for a very long time, to make it match people's expectations, they
changed it. Yeah.
Photos more red.
Yeah. Here's another one. This is by Meth is Bad, Kids Do Math. If voodoo dolls were real, a lot of people would fuck themselves and suck their own dicks. Could you imagine?
Wait, so if you fuck a voodoo doll,
that
I mean, I'm only taking it from movies, but mainly I just see like pins.
Yeah.
So,
I mean,
like-
you would have
like-
to. I think you would have to get
bit-
one of those Japanese dolls, like a much
like a
bigger.
large, 'cause that's what I'm thinking, right?
Yeah.
The proportions are way off.
Yeah, if you fucked like a small version of yourself, that would really hurt.
It would split through your stomach.
Yeah.
It'd be like an alien coming out of someone's chest.
Yeah.
But a dick, so that's embarrassing.
That's way more embarrassing. I wasn't really. I thought this was interesting just on the concept of if voodoo dolls existed, how the world would change. Rather than, I don't actually imagine many people would fuck themselves, to be honest, or so up.
You can
I
masturbate
certainly would
right now.
Yeah. I have no desire to fuck myself, but apparently this person does, and probably a lot of people have got upvoted a lot. I have no intention to do that, but it just made me think about a world where voodoo dolls do exist and they are real, and how a society would have to live our lives. Because for one, if we're going off like traditional voodoo doll, normal voodoo doll, but then you get like the hair of the person to then,
I think if they existed in a manner that they actually worked how people kind of perceive them to work, that'd be illegal.
Yeah, they would be illegal.
Like it'd be out, and then you would get these fringe people because from my understanding, you can make a voodoo doll. It's not like there's one voodoo doll out there, and once you've got it, okay, it's safe. You've got the Nelson one.
You can make one.
I could make one.
That's what I mean. And then you have
to
attach some like DNA of sorts.
Yeah.
And then, so I wonder whether people would be like, maybe shaves heads and stuff. Try and not let any of your DNA get out there. Maybe wear biohazard suits outside.
Yeah.
Because you don't want anyone. Because you imagine the like torture or the worst things people could do. But then you could also get out of a lot of stuff. Don't you think? Punch somebody in the face. Oh my God, somebody must have created a voodoo doll of me and pretended
do they make your body? I thought they did things to your body.
Look,
so I was going to say,
the science behind voodoo dolls is very up in the air, and some things work and some things don't.
It would get you out of awkward situations. You just fall on the ground screaming like, "Someone's attacking me with a voodoo doll."
Yeah, well, that also, yeah, you could do for sure.
But I think that they might become so mundane that they would be like YouTube prank channels where it's like, you've got my voodoo doll and I've got yours. And it's like a test to see who, I'm going to poke you with this pin and then you react to it.
Yeah, that's a good one.
We could do that now. It'd just be fake.
Yeah, we should pretend to create our own YouTube channel. There's enough weirdos out there that would believe us. Okay, that's good. I only remember watching a like voodoo doll horror movie when I was younger, and I remember the worst thing was they put the voodoo doll in the microwave.
Oh.
And then the person just sort of like
melted
it. I was like, that's fucking horrible.
Yeah.
There would be this thing, I reckon, like a psychological condition, if we lived in this world, where people think that somebody else has their voodoo doll, but they're just acting weird or whatever, doing
like
feeling
hypochondriacs almost.
Yeah, hypochondriacs. Yes. Oh my God. Anywho, cool. All right. Well, I think we should get into podnapping, Cambe.
Oh my God! I'm being podnapped.
Podnapping.
This is Podnapping, where we nap a pod. We take a topic of conversation or a segment from another podcast and we do it ourselves.
Or a podnapping that's already been done.
Sometimes we do a podnapping that's already been done. To be fair, once I've done this before. Just to cover my, like if people are like, oh my God, that's so uncharacteristic of Nelson. I've done it before. But
like if you're like, that's it, Nelson. You've murdered this person. Like, to be fair, I've murdered before.
I've
I was going to do this.
I've murdered before.
They don't go, all right, well, stay out of prison then.
Why is everybody surprised? Everybody's shocked and stuff. I'm like, literally so many times before. But the last time I did it, I kind of copied my own idea. This time I'm copying. Actually, it wasn't even your idea. It was Amanda's idea.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say that's fine.
And to be fair to you, she didn't say only one of you can do this.
Yes, that's
and
true.
And if there's a loophole, you better believe we're going to exploit it.
We're going to pick up on it. And you skipped over some in last week.
Yep.
So if anything, it's your fault for not continuing on.
Before we get into this podnapping for the second week in a row, I do want to remind people next week is the dueling songs of ridicule.
Oh, okay. Well, see, here's what I was going to... Don't we need to set that up better?
Mate, I'm ready.
What? But the whole point of it was we needed an argument. What is your song about?
You.
But that's not an argument. So, okay, you've just changed what the Podnapping is about.
It was a song of ridicule. So
it wasn't a song of ridicule.
It was to settle arguments.
Yeah, it was to settle argument. Okay, so you've done a song of ridicule.
Here's my argument to you.
Okay.
Preemptively.
Okay. Well, this changes the game. I've been waiting. You're like, yeah, it's coming up. I'm like, okay, I'm waiting for like.
So you're waiting
the
for
topic of conversation of which we are going to do the songs about. Okay. Apparently, that's not what it's going to be anymore.
You just write a song ridiculing me.
Okay.
That's all you got to do.
It's like a roast song. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah. That's not what it was, but that's fine.
Nelson, it's my Podnapping. It's whatever the fuck I want it to be.
Yeah, but I would not have come up with it.
Yes, so then I would have won.
Okay, so now I have a fucking week to do it.
There you go. There's an argument. We just had an argument. What do you fucking want from me?
Okay. Anyway, what I was gonna say is, and feel free to. Oh no, wait. Maybe I should insist on this now. Is that because I know I've stolen this, and I actually did have another Podnapping ready. It just sort of fell through, only because I was totally unprepared.
It sort of fell through purely by my own incompetence.
But perhaps I was going to say I'm happy to do a Podnapping again next week, so that you don't have to, because I'm kind of cheating now, and I do have something set up for next week.
You're more than welcome to.
Okay, give me an extra week on the fucking song thing now that I know what it's all about. Okay, and you're gonna play a guitar song, right?
Maybe.
Is it? Well, you said that last week. So I was just like more confirming rather than. Anyway, is it okay? Is it an original? Like, is the music original? Or are you using a
For mine?
Yeah.
The music's original.
Okay. All right. Mine's not going to be. I'm obviously going to be playing to some sort of track.
That's fine.
That I'll have.
That's fine. I'll just ridicule you for
How
it.
long does yours go for?
It's not finished. I don't know.
Okay. Mine's 3 hours. I've just decided.
I'm going to say between 2 to 3 minutes, probably.
Okay. What if I just tried to find the longer song? I'll win by attrition. Anyway, This week's Podnapping is, just in case you didn't listen to last week's, was we Google the start of a question, and you try to work out what people on the internet are going to finish. What's the most popular?
It's like a Google autocomplete quiz.
Google autocomplete. Yeah. You know what? Listen to last week, okay?
How long is we guess what the autocomplete results are going to be?
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so...
I know how to introduce this because I did this Podnapping already.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't think I was there for that.
Maybe it was Samantha Haynes.
It might have been Samantha. She's still here?
No, she's dead.
Ah.
I know that you wanted me to play the sound, but I wanted to ruin your joke.
Like we did it. Yeah, okay, we're even now. Okay. Oh boy! All right. So anyway, okay.
I'm really sorry about this episode, everyone. I don't know
the end of it.
I don't often apologize, but this one's really fallen apart.
Just from this. As soon as we press the Podnapping intro onwards,
really run out. We had an argument for like 4 minutes.
Anyway, okay.
Hello.
Okay. Shut up, Samantha. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Google autocomplete quiz. We probably don't have time for too many now, which is the irony.
This is going to be the shortest copy of a Podnapping ever. Jesus Christ. Okay. Whew. Okay, so the first one is going to be, you didn't even do like the first 10, you picked and choose, so I'm going to have to find the ones in between. Again, I could have done this earlier, but it was not.
But can't stress this enough, he didn't open the email until right now to check.
Okay, so the first one is, I don't think we've done this one before.
Okay.
How can you find?
Oh. Do you want to go first or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
Okay, how can you find a hospital?
Okay. How How can you find your keys? That's so dumb.
It needs to be like...
I feel like there's another one.
Yeah.
There's another train of thought that we're not on yet.
It's going to be something along the lines of like, how do you find the circumference to a circle?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It's not like a physical thing, I don't think. I think it's like, how do you work something out? I think it's going to be phrased like, oh, how do you find that? Like, how do you find the mean number?
Yes, that's right. Well, do you want to choose any of those?
Yeah, circumference I might take.
Okay. How can you find the circumference of a circle? Yeah. Okay.
Well, anything vaguely. I'll take anything that's vaguely like that.
Okay. Well, that's pretty broad, but we'll see.
No, I'm talking about circumference. Like,
Okay. Yeah, that's fair enough. Okay. How can you find the distance between 2 points without a ruler? Can I say, like you've done, sort of around? How can you find something without a ruler or a tape measure? Okay, cool.
how can you find your internet search history?
Oh, good. Yeah, something like that. Okay, that's good. How can you find... Oh, I actually think I searched this recently. How can you find the your specs on your computer? So like how can I find what my processor is or something like that?
Because my third and final, I'm going to go. How can you?
You've done? Haven't we done? How many have we done?
Oh yeah, I did.
We did.
What was my
3.
first one?
How can you find
We'll remember it when it comes
a hospital?
up.
Yeah. Okay. How can you find someone's home phone? I never expected that to be a in
phone numbers are a good one in general.
Yeah, but a home phone. Nobody.
Yeah, you go back in time.
How can you find someone's obituary? That's morbid. That's weird. How many?
Well,
people
maybe
are
you're like, I've been trying to ring them. They're not picking up. They must be dead.
Yeah, I guess. How can I find their obituary? It's the only way. How can you find out who owns a property? How can you find out... how can you find someone's address? How can you find lost AirPods? Oh, that's a good one. How can you find out who owns a car? How can you find your AirPods? How can you find your TFN, which is tax file number in Australia?
Yep.
How can you find out who owns a house? All is the same. How can you find your Wi-Fi password? Oh my God. That was absolutely... I think last week, at least one of us got one on the list.
Sequels are never as good, though.
They are never as good. But what about this one?
Okay.
I don't think we did this one. What... Shut up, Cameron. What do people want? Yeah, I don't think we've done this before.
Yeah, I don't think so. You can go first.
Me first. Okay. What do people want? I'm going to go broad. What do people want most in life?
What do people want in a partner?
Oh, that's so good, Camber. What do people want? Oh, damn, that's so good. Now I can only think of things around that, which I feel like is cheating. Like I was going to say opposite sex or something, but I feel like that's too close. What do people want in a car?
I'm going to go with a educated guess of like the Google algorithm trying to guess what people are searching. What do people want GameStop stock for?
Oh, I like it, Camber. Yeah. I kind of want to go for a weird one, which I think won't work at all, but also it could be my Hail Mary. Okay.
Oh, yeah, there's a point system to this, by the way.
I want it to say, what do people want women?
Oh, right. Yeah.
Based on the movie, what do women want? But I want enough people to kind of screw up.
Yeah.
Just searching that.
But it's also like, it's one of those badly phrased things that people search in a hurry. It's like, how get out foot drain. Like, like you're not searching the whole thing.
Yeah, that's right. Is that, oh wait, so then
We've done 2, I think.
Well, I
was
did
your
3,
third,
so you did 3.
What do people want in... What do people want... it's too similar, but what do people want Bitcoin for?
That's fine. I feel like you've got a solid one in relationship. I can't believe I didn't do that. Oh, so dumb. What do people want... what do people want to buy?
Oh. That's marketers Googling that.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, what do people want to buy?
That's so true.
GameStop?
Okay. What do people want for Christmas? What do people want in a relationship? Good one, Cambo. So 2 points, I think. We still don't know how the point system works. What do people want to see on Instagram? Oh, that annoys me that is Googled so frequently.
Because the answer is boobs.
It's always boobs, guys. Come on.
Have you seen an influencer? It's all boobs.
Or pectorals. You know?
Pectorals.
Like in the same
boobs.
area. Chest of people. Yeah. That's what we want to see. What do people want to see on YouTube? Again, all right?
Boobs.
God.
Or chest.
Or chest. Okay. What do people want to read about? What do people want out of life? Oh, can I claim that one?
What was your one?
Mine I said was, what do people... Yeah, I think it was like want in life.
All right.
Or want...
Yeah. That's pretty low down. Let's go 1 point.
Yeah, that's 1 point. Want in... I think maybe I said want in life.
Yeah, you said something vaguely.
Close enough.
Vaguely bullshit enough to have that work.
Yeah, okay. What do people want to learn and what do people want to know? That is not anything... I feel like aside from the 2 that we got, most were like very away from how we thought
yeah.
Our
train of thought was not in line with this.
Yeah, okay. 2 points to you, 1 point to me. How do I get?
How do I get? I feel like people are going to Google, how do I get rich?
Yes, good one. Should I then go, how do I get famous?
Oh, that's good.
Okay.
That's good. How do I get more followers on Instagram?
Oh, yeah. Oh, damn it, Canberra. I feel like you come up with all the good ones. Should I just go another... Oh, that's not very nice. But then also, the last time it was like Instagram, YouTube. But
yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to ignore that. I'm going to say, how do I get to... I'm going to say, how do I get to... I'm going to try like a geolocation. Mm-hmm. How do I get to Sydney?
Okay. Yep, because presumably Google knows we're in Melbourne. They think we're going to travel to Sydney.
Like we never go to Sydney.
We'd go to Adelaide before we went to Sydney.
I would go to hell before I went to Sydney.
How do I get a girlfriend/boyfriend?
Okay.
That's my third.
How do I get a... this is probably a bit too odd. How do I get a tattoo removed?
Oh, yeah, interesting.
Sort of odd, but also might be.
I understand, but I feel like the Google search would be how to remove a tattoo.
Yeah. How do How do I get a tattoo? I don't know. Okay. How do I get... How do I get a tax file number? Which is funny that it came up in the search before. How do I get a QR code? How do I get an ABM, Australian business number, for those listening? How do I get a Centrelink CRN?
Jeez,
also
this is
very Australian related.
This is very government heavy.
Yeah. How do I get home? Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That would
Actually,
work.
because in Google Maps,
they just show you.
type home.
Like Google knows where I live.
Yeah.
As scary as that thought is.
Yeah, I'm so okay with it. I'm waiting for Google to come over.
Well, they might be leaving this country, Nelson. They'd want to come over soon.
Oh, yeah.
We haven't talked about that, and we don't have time. So
Yeah, so just make of that what you will.
Google that, because we can't.
Yeah. How do I get an NBN connection box? Oh, my God. These are so Australian.
So specific, and all of them are to do with like corporate government bodies.
The next few also very Australian. How do I get a new Medicare card? How do I get Binge on my TV? Just a streaming service.
Yeah, that's the one that so we had the thing that stops all of like HBO and stuff coming here. It's Foxtel.
Yeah.
And Foxtel refused to put any of it on streaming, and then they started Binge.
Yeah.
Which is like
Their
the
own streaming
Australian
service, yeah.
Murdoch-owned streaming service.
Yeah. And
God.
it's still way too expensive, I think.
And no, it's not too bad, but it isn't on everything, which is probably why people
Oh, right.
You know how
Okay.
Netflix is on everything.
Yeah, yeah.
You get a tattoo and they're like, that's got Netflix on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Binge, it's like was only on certain things.
Yeah, okay. How do I get a Medicare card? Very similar to a new Medicare card. How do I get Netflix on my TV? Okay.
0 points.
Zero.
It's going to be a low scoring
Oh,
game.
my God. Hey, guys, okay. I know there's a few new listeners that have
Yep.
accidentally left their podcast playing up until this point. But normally, last week,
Yeah.
this was a way better segment.
And Nelson, we're pushing the time. We're going to need to move on.
We've got to try and pull this one back. But that's what, okay.
You've got one more.
This last one,
Yeah.
boy, are we going to do well. What? I don't think we did this one either. What is the best? My turn?
Yep.
What is the best movie of all time?
What is the best internet provider?
Oh. What is the best tax file number? No, I'm joking. I was joking. What is the best video game of all time? Or something along those lines.
Yep.
We get it.
What is the best streaming service?
Oh my God. We're doing really well on this. I can just tell. What is the best? I sort of want to say like a brand, like car manufacturer, or like computer brand or something like that. Yeah, screw it. Let's just say car manufacturer.
I'm going to go with something, and you're going to think I'm trying to copy you, but mine's actually very specific. I'm going to say, what is the best picture? As in, the Academy Awards, they give the best picture.
Okay. Yeah, cool. That's fine. Yeah, I think that's good. Was that it? Sure. I don't remember what I said.
Let's see how well we did.
What is the best game in the world?
Hey, really? Game in the world?
I'm surprised that came
That's
up as
number
the first.
one, yeah.
Number one. 3 points.
You're winning.
I'm on 4 now. You're still on 2 because we did so poorly in the last few rounds. What is the best country in the world? Neither said that. That's a good one. What is the best iPhone? The latest one,
the
right?
new one.
What is the best pet in Adopt Me?
Ah.
I have no idea what that means.
Is it a game?
I have not heard of that game before. It's very popular, apparently. What is the best zodiac sign? People in the world are morons. What is the best song in the world? Did you say song? No, I don't think you did.
I think I did.
No, you didn't. No. What is the best air fryer? What? This is so... What is the best anime? What is the best movie of all time? I get another point, I think, at this point.
Yeah.
What is the best... What is the best fertilizer for gardenias?
I almost said that. I shit you not.
Yeah. Always the first one.
Yeah. I thought, no. I don't want to win too much.
I can't believe how poorly we did this week as opposed to last week. Especially on this question.
Maybe because we're the ones I chose or the ones I thought would do better in.
Maybe. But what is the best? I feel like this had so many options.
Yeah.
What is the best fertilizer for gardenias? Are you fucking kidding me? Okay. Anyway, I won that.
You did.
Okay. It's 1 for 1. And guess what, Kimber? There's still a few more to go. You can always come back to it for the decider. Anyway.
If people demand it, we'll do it again. But only if we get overwhelming demand.
Please demand it on my week. Thank you. Okay, now we can get into the Ask Me Anything, where listeners of the show, just like you, listener, can write in and ask us anything you want.
Yes.
You should do the first 2. They're not really questions, so just go for it.
Oh, well, I was going to do the second one because it's specifically kind of for me.
The second one?
From Connor.
Yeah. Well, I thought it'd be funnier if I read this one.
Fair enough.
But you could also read it. I mean, maybe you should read it. Okay, you read it.
Well, this one here is from Connor.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. And it says, hello, gentlemen, and Smelson. I've changed my mind about Cambo. It's me, your Irish correspondent. How are you? Though weirdly, that's not a question.
Yeah. It's a statement.
How are you? Fuck off, Smelson. I'm trying to talk to Cambo. Anyway, Cambo, I have a few questions for you. One, let's read through them all and then we'll go back one by one.
Okay.
Probably can't go into too much depth given the time. And one of them's a real doozy.
Very briefly.
One of them's a real doozy. What childish thing do you do? What movie can you watch over and over again without getting sick of it? What celebrity would make the worst president and why? Why do you think straight white men get discriminated so much? How many people did you kill today and where would you hide the body? Smelson, if you even answered one question, I will find you and rip your bones in alphabetical order. Thanks, Cambo. Connor. P.S. I hate Smelson because he is an insufferable little shit.
You know what I've decided?
What's that?
I fucking hate Connor. And you know what? I'm going to answer every single one of these questions. What are you going to do, Connor?
Oh, my God.
Bring it on.
We haven't had like a listener.
Wait. Is there a chance this is Conor McGregor?
He is Irish.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, you pissed him off now.
No, I take it back on.
Okay. Yeah, let's go through these with some brevity, except for one which I might expect.
Even though I fucking hate this email. But let's do it, I guess.
What childish thing do you do? Me and my best friend scream into microphones every week.
Yeah. Surprisingly, that's the most grown-up thing I do every week. That's how low the bar is.
If we're going to go high level, I read comics, you play video games.
I play video games. Yeah, I was thinking that. Yeah.
What movie can you watch over and over again without getting sick of? Mine is actually The Mummy, the one from 1999.
Oh my God.
Like, it's not my favorite movie, but if it's on, I'll always watch it.
Yeah. Honestly, mine's probably
The Mummy from 1999.
The Mummy. Yeah, The Mummy. No, I think it's The Matrix.
Yep, great answer.
Can always get that one.
Yeah. What celebrity would make the worst president and why? You know who he is.
Yeah.
We saw that.
We lived through that.
Now, number 4. Why do you think straight white men get discriminated so much?
Right. Well, I mean, in comparison to,
yeah.
Like,
the thing.
Look,
This one,
I won't say that discrimination of white straight men doesn't exist. Sure, but so much is not how I would end that sentence.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I think that this is the one that I will expand on a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's not a very simple answer. Mm-hmm. And I think it's wrong for people to be like, shut up, they don't. Because I think you're right.
Yeah. There's an element into which they do.
And the problem is,
just like everyone,
a lot of people that say a statement like this, I think just have less experience around people that get discriminated more regularly.
Yeah.
So, for instance, I used to work with a guy called Larry. Built like a fucking brick shit house, huge guy.
Yeah.
Quite tall, like 6'5".
Had a huge Johnson.
Probably. Very, very, very dark-skinned Sri Lankan. Mm-hmm. Like the funniest, most laid-back guy in the world.
Yeah.
And I would see on a daily basis people like make judgments about him purely based on how he looked.
Yeah.
Until they kind of maybe got to know him a little bit more.
Yeah.
That doesn't necessarily happen to me.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
like I think enough experience seeing that everybody gets discriminated against.
Yeah.
And straight white guys had it so good for so long. They just get discriminated as well now. It's not more than anyone. In fact, it's still less than anyone. It just is. It's evening the playing field some.
I would say, just also on a personal note, I have never been personally discriminated against. I would say, just to like cover that base. I don't want to be like, I'm a straight white man that's been discriminated against. Yeah. But have I seen straight white men be discriminated against? Sure. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. But I just don't think it's like, it's just not really worth bringing up because it's such a small thing. It's like, well, let's fix the rest of discrimination first and then we'll worry about the straight white guys.
And there's so many other like genders and races above us getting discriminated in a more systemic way. Yeah. I didn't really know that much about the whole wage gap thing. Honestly, until I started dating Stacey. And
Yeah.
I would see time and time again,
Yeah.
like men in the exact same position as her,
Yeah.
making more money.
Yeah,
For
it's
no
insane.
particular reason other than, I guess the boss is like, oh, I like that guy. I relate to him for some
Yeah.
reason. Subconsciously because
Yeah,
you're like
that's
him.
right. Oh, he's a guy.
Yeah, yeah.
I relate to this guy.
It's
Yeah.
not like a malice premeditated thing. So yeah, it's
Yeah, it's not like, oh, she's a woman, so I'm going to pay her less. But it is there. Like, it
is there.
absolutely is there.
It is there.
Yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
For
that's
so
our answer
many.
is essentially
Oh, okay.
they don't. There's a really good line in there's a Bo Burnham song called "Straight White Male." Very funny.
Right.
And there's a line in that where he says, "We used to have all the money and power, and we still do, but it's not as fun now." Yeah. Which is kind of how I see that.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Okay. Question 5. How many people did you kill today? Just the Samantha.
Well, she killed herself.
Yeah, she killed herself. I mean, yeah, we didn't help.
Yeah.
We could have saved her, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
So our inaction
Oh,
in
wait
a
a
way.
second. Was that my jacket she tripped over?
Oh no.
Guess that means technically I did.
Manslaughter at the best.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
As far as the courts, though.
Yeah, yeah.
Where would you hide the body? We're just going to leave it there.
Yeah, yeah.
We'll probably just leave it there.
It'll decompose over time.
Anyway, I look forward to Conor McGregor beating you up.
Yeah. Freaking Connor. What do you think about that, Connor? Me answering your questions. Huh, punk?
He's going to rip out all your bones in alphabetical order.
Okay. That seems like,
Yeah.
honestly, onerous. You know, on him. Like, hey, good on you if you can do that.
I would just go top to bottom.
Yeah, yeah. Because obviously I've got like, you know, two femurs and
Yeah.
two of a lot of things. You have to pull them simultaneously when you get to that point. And surely I have some, like on my fingertips, right? I don't know the name of the bones.
Yeah.
Again, this is not an educational podcast. But I'm sure one of the bones like closer to my palm might be of you know, lower on the alphabetical list than one at the end.
And what if you
It's
try
so
and
hard
break
to,
your
like-
finger and you break 2 bones at once,
Oh.
but they're not alphabetically
You've ruined
next to
it.
each other?
You've ruined it. You have to wait until that heals and start all over again.
Connor, it's a cross for your own
You
back
haven't
you
really,
built here.
you haven't really thought about this. I'm going to be idiot. Honest, you fucking idiot.
Don't piss him off, Nelson.
I forgot that's
Don't poke the bear.
I forgot that's Conor McGregor. You know what? I'm going to leave the other two because we're
running
running really
late.
late,
Yeah,
and who cares?
Lucky we didn't say who it was, so they don't know that we.
You know what? This
passed
is.
it.
I'll help you guys out. This is how I end it. Footlong, fuckpole, hog, intermittent organ, Jimmy.
If you want to leave a review for the show, you can do so
love
on
whistle,
any
machine,
podcast
male
platform
organ,
that allows
meat
it. We'd
stick,
really appreciate
membrane
it.
virile,
If you want to get in
old boy,
contact with us,
one-eyed
it's
steak,
readitpodcast
one-eyed wonder worm,
at gmail.com.
one-eyed yogurt slinger, pegger,
send in any
pickle,
questions.
pigskin bus,
Send in any lyrics for
pingus,
any kind of song
pink
ridicule,
oboe,
because that is
plug,
coming up in the
private
following
parts,
weeks.
pudding,
But I guess
purple-headed
until
warrior,
then, we'll
quiverbone,
read you later.
Roger Runyon.
That was probably the best way to put all the information at the end. Nice and clear.
Hello.